Manufacturing things more than disconcerting for external actors is the reality. Mahathir oneself was accountable for lot of how domination, as athlete lead of the Barisan Nasional Coalition for his 22-year in force of 1981 to 2003. At 92, while sworn in, Mahathir will be the planet's senior lead, 21 year older rather than US CEO Donald Trump card, 2 times the age of Canada Main Secretary Justin Trudeau. I cannot take the nation creature ruined by egoistic human beings who just believe on themselves, who rob cash, he told, referring the 1MDB corrupt practices fracas that has pursued Najib's premiership. Recent opportunity in Najib's largest powerful competing, ex-Vice Main Secretary Anwar Ibrahim, overstick following creature condemned on corrupt practices and buggery extortion, the opposition was looking poor departure in the poll. How was up Mahathir united the brawl, proverb he didn't reason, creature utilized by the opposition to displace Najib. The nonagenarian told he would move towards in Anwar's benefit following providing his ex-competing a king forgiveness, cleaning him to be as main secretary. Anwar's woman, Wan Aziza, accepted Mahathir and serviced as his vice in the coalition to displace Najib. She was one of the many decades of opposition candidates selected environment. I am 92 departure on 93, Mahathir told in January. I win to recent length and I am produced for how. But for as length as I can promote, I will go on, and I will behind Anwar if how is the desire of the side. Mahathir's hug of Anwar Ibrahim has amazed lot. While Mahathir was main secretary in the 1990s, Anwar was concluded on buggery and corrupt practices extortion, how critics told were politically reasoned. Anwar remnant concluded following creature found those guilty of buggery a other period in 2015 by Najib, a accusation he has as well told is politically reasoned. Sames anticipated to be liberated in June, following serving the great bulk of the verdict. Vague next for Mahathir and 70-year-old Anwar, the poll was potential their recent coil of the die. Anwar take the premiership via an poll won by Mahathir would just months ago include seemed ridiculous, but it now seems to be really lot on the cards, in Najib, one day the superb policy surviving, on the way of. Malaysians will potential be in for days, if not weeks and months, of ambiguity, as a governing coalition is hashed out and it is solved how and while Mahathir will move towards for Anwar or else opposition drawing. This big litmus testing of Mr. Mahathir's obligation to the opposition is if he hands above force to Mr. Anwar, as he pledged, told Feng Su, provincial officer for Asia at the Political Economist Intellect block. She sharpened out by Malaysia's policy framework, though following he receives a king forgiveness, Anwar will yet include to win a chair in parliament, up he can get the premiership. A management changing would frustrate finance markets, especially if the trial were to be length drawn and rotate sarcastic, Feng added. One period athlete he was at first selected main secretary in 1981, serving before October 2003, while he stepped towards for his anointed heir Abdullah Ahmed Badai. In resignation, Mahathir was a continuous reviewer of Abdullah, although his barbs were anything compared to his next attacks on Najib. It is ironical how the man who crushed the opposition time in force has altered oneself in resignation as the in fact lead of which in nature is a countryman uprising, he told Front of the Voice.